I'm Ava Brooks, 34, a cybersecurity analyst. After 13 years of scraping and saving, I finally moved into a house I bought myself. No loans, no co-signers. Then my phone lit up. Dad, Thomas Brooks. We need to talk about the house. I called back. He didn't say hello. We've decided Chloe should have it. You're doing fine. Hand over the keys. Mom Diane slid in sweet as poison. We raised you. Time to pay the family tax. Hooked yet? Because that's the moment my chest went hollow. I worked nights, ate ramen, patched my life together. And they called me selfish for keeping the one thing I built. If you were me right there, what would you do? Walk away or fight? Tell me in the comments. Tap like if this hit a nerve, and subscribe for the rest because it only gets uglier from here. I'm Ava Brooks, 34, cybersecurity analyst, proud owner of exactly one slightly crooked mailbox and a mortgage with my name on it. No co-signers, no secret family fund. Just 13 years of double shifts, ramen and saying maybe next month to anything fun. The morning this all began, the house was quiet in that holy way new spaces can be. A fridge humming for me alone. A ceramic mug warm in my hands, boxes finally empty. Then my phone lit up. Dad, it didn't say congratulations. It said, we need to talk about the house. You ever feel your stomach grab a fistful of your ribs? I called back. He didn't even say hello. We've decided Chloe should have it. Like the house was a sweater I could lend out. You're doing fine, Ava. You can get another place. My brain tried to reboot. I laughed out loud. You've decided my house. Then Mom slid in, voice dipped in honey that's been sitting out too long. Sweetheart, we raised you. You wouldn't be where you are without us. It's time to give back to the family. And then the scalpel line that still burns. Don't be selfish. Hooked yet? Because that was the moment the floor tilted. I had this split screen in my head. Me at 20, biking to a graveyard shift security desk because the bus stopped running after midnight. And Chloe at 20, sipping wine in Florence for the experience. Guess who paid for that experience? Growing up, the script was simple. Chloe is sensitive, Ava is sturdy. Sensitive needs cushions. Sturdy can carry the weights. And Dad used to say, half joking, your sister's our artist. You're our problem solver. Translation, Chloe gets the canvas, I fix the leaks. When I asked for textbook money freshman year, just $120 for data structures, Mom texted back, we're focusing our support on Chloe right now, hope you understand. I did. I bought a used copy with someone else's notes and learned to underline around coffee stains. So here's the new scene. I'm in my own kitchen, finally not renting, finally not bargaining with a landlord about the mold that isn't technically mold. And my parents are telling me to hand over the keys because Chloe is in a delicate place. Dad, you're in tech, Ava. You make good money. Mom, Chloe needs a foundation. This house could be that. And then Dad, with the kind of certainty people reserve for weather reports. Family comes first. Want to know what landed like a slap? The certainty. Not a request, not a conversation, a verdict. I wish I could tell you I delivered a perfect clap back. Instead, I went quiet, because when you've been the sturdy one your whole life, silence is how you stop a building from collapsing. Inside, the reel played. When Chloe rear-ended that second car at 16, and Dad said accidents happen, and bought her another. When I chipped in on utilities in high school because we're tight this month. When I worked 3 weekend nights while Chloe found her voice through a $2,500 workshop that somehow needed a passport. And while all of that was happening, no one ever called her selfish. No one ever said, time to give back. Dad tried a different angle. Look, this is math. We invested in you, food, roof, rides, school. You owe the family. There it was, love is ledger. I felt my cheeks heat up, not from shame, from rage I kept swallowing so I wouldn't explode. I owe you my house? Mom's tone went surgical. Don't twist this, we're asking for fairness. That word, fairness, got stuck in my throat like a dry pill. Because fairness, in our family, always looked like me shrinking so Chloe could stand on something. I asked, what does Chloe say? And here's where my vision actually blurred. Mom put me on speaker. Chloe's voice soft and theatrical. Ava, I forgive you for making this harder than it has to be. Egg. Forgive me for not surrendering what I'd built. You're hoard instability, she said. You already have enough. Dad added, it's a moral obligation. You ever hear words so upside down they make you dizzy? Moral obligation from the people who watched me bus to work in the snow while they mailed Chloe sun hats for a semester in Lisbon. If you were me right there, what would you have done? Beg, bargain, blow up? Comment below. Seriously, because I did the only thing my body would let me. I hung up. I stared at the wall like it might give me permission to scream. I remember the exact thought. I finally got something they didn't touch, and that's what they can't stand. The panic rose anyway. What if they tried to show up? What if they made a scene? I set up the little door camera I'd been meaning to install and told myself I was being paranoid. Mom started texting paragraphs. We're meeting at noon to finalize. Finalize what? Dad followed with a spreadsheet. No, I'm not kidding. Breaking down estimated parental investment. That's when the shame tried to trick me. It whispers in a voice you recognize. Maybe you are selfish. Maybe success means sharing, even when sharing guts you. But here's the thing. Sharing isn't sharing if it's coerced. It's theft dressed like family. I typed, deleted, typed again, finally sent one line. No. Dad replied, you'll regret this. Mom sent a heart emoji, then we love you. The psychology of that still scrapes bone. A threat, then a hug. Push, then pull. Classic control. Want to hear the kicker? Chloe posted a story. A Pinterest-perfect kitchen, white tiles, brass pulls, sunlight, like a blessing. Captioned, so grateful for family fighting for what's right. My house doesn't even have brass pulls. I felt my hand shake, not because she lied, but because hundreds of little hearts start to agree with her. If this is hitting a nerve, hit like so other people see it, because what came next turned that ask into a campaign. And yeah, this is the part that gets uglier. 5 days later, a courier knocked like the building was on fire. A thick envelope. Brooks via Brooks plaintiffs. Thomas and Diane Brooks. Defendant, me, relief sought, transfer of real property to Chloe Brooks. Assumption of remaining mortgage during a 2-year transitional period, and wait for it, financial compensation for emotional harm. They'd even assigned a number, $289,300, their estimate of what raising me cost. Imagine opening your mailbox and finding an invoice for your childhood. If this isn't making your blood boil, check your pulse. I didn't cry. I sat on the floor with that envelope and felt something colder than tears. A kind of bone-deep confirmation. The thing I'd always half feared was real. In their eyes, I'm not a daughter. I'm a return on investment. My hands moved before my brain did. I pulled bank statements, pay stubs, signed disclosures, the deed, every boring, blessed piece of paper tying this house to me. Then I dug up old emails. Mom, can you help with $80 for groceries this month? We're focusing on Chloe's program right now. You'll be fine. That "you'll be fine" hit like a brick in a backpack. My fine is why they felt entitled. The mortgage company called. Someone had sent them a copy of the suit. Is there a co-borrower? No. Any secondary claimant on the deed? It's just me. The silence on the line honored what my parents wouldn't, reality. Meanwhile, the group chat, the giant extended family one, started to hum. A cousin asked gently, "Is everything okay?" Mom replied, "Ava is struggling to act in the best interest of the family." Struggling, like I was flailing, not saying no. Then came my Aunt Carol, who has a PhD in performing righteousness. Sometimes tough love is still love. You know what tough love never seems to mean? Them doing something hard. Court day, I wore the Navy suit I keep for interviews and funerals because this felt like both. They arrived as a unit. Dad, back rigid. Mom, expression the same soft set she wears to funerals. Chloe, mascara shining like a weapon. Aunt Carol, hair sprayed into a helmet, carrying a tote that said, "Blessed." Their t-shirts identical read, "Family comes first." I almost laughed. Dad's lawyer looked tired in the way only people who've practiced arguing against common sense get. He read from a script. The Brookses contend that without their emotional, physical, and financial investment, Ms. Brooks would not be in her current position, Therefore, it is only fair, that word again, for the property to be transferred to her sister, who is facing hardship. The judge, a woman with eyes like she's seen everything, turned to me. Ms. Brooks? I handed her a binder. I had tabbed it, color-coded. When the world is upside down, labels feel like life rafts. I am the sole buyer. No loans from my parents, no co-signers, no agreements, written or otherwise. I slid in the email printouts like a final card in a deck. You could feel the room's oxygen change. Then came theater. The lawyer pulled out photo albums. Summer at the Lake, 4th grade recital. He held up a print of a $12.99 Happy Meal receipt from 2003. Evidence of ongoing support, he said. My brain short-circuited. I pictured a jury deliberating over chicken nuggets. Chloe tried to hug me in court, whispered loudly, I forgive you. I stepped back. Her eyes found the judge as if to say, see, she's cold, Aunt Carol murmured, just audible. Disgraceful girl. The judge's gavel cracked to the air. Order. Chloe spoke next. I want to build an artist's retreat, she said, voice quivering like a string. A healing space for creatives. This house could be a sanctuary. The judge asked, have you earned income from this work? Chloe looked at Mom. Mom answered, she's in a transitional phase. The judge looked at me. I kept my hands flat so they wouldn't shake. The lawyer pivoted to morality. Is it not correct that family comes first? And the judge didn't blink. Morality is not a cause of action in this court. Then the part that gutted me in a beautiful way. The judge opened the email packet I'd included. Me at 19 asking for $60 for a lab fee, get in. We must prioritize Chloe's tuition. Me at 21 asking for $40 for a bus pass. Use Uber, it's safer. Like Uber wasn't more expensive than my groceries. And then the one that broke something open in the room. I'm behind on rent. Can you co-sign? Mom, we don't want to impact Chloe's financial aid. The judge read in silence. When she looked up, her face had changed. Not pity, clarity. 5 days later. Case dismissed for lack of legal merit. No grand speech, no cinematic scolding, just a stamp that meant you can't sue your adult child for refusing to be your retirement plan. Dad emailed one line, you've humiliated us. Mom texted, we still love you. Chloe posted a GoFundMe titled, Help Me Rebuild After My Sister Stole My Home. She used the same Pinterest kitchen photo. Comments exploded. A real queen gets her castle. Family first. And if this isn't the part that makes you want to throw your phone, people donated. Real money to a lie. I reported it. Others did too. It came down 3 days later for violating platform guidelines. Aunt Carol started emailing me from her work account, threats dressed as scripture. HR didn't find it inspiring. She got a written warning. The family thread went nuclear. Cousins who had stayed quiet found their voices. You paid Chloe's $200K degree while I begged for $200 in textbooks. You bought her a MacBook the week you told me money was tight. And my grandfather, Dad's father, who seldom typed more than 2 words at a time, wrote, she succeeded in spite of you, not because of you. I read that twice, then a 3rd time. It felt like being seen by someone who had been staring through me for years. If your jaw is clenched right now, breathe and drop a comment. Would you have taken them to court, hired a lawyer, folded and handed over the keys? Tell me. Because the aftermath, what happened after the gavel, taught me what boundaries actually look like in the wild. 6 months out from the dismissal, the house finally sounds like a home. Not because conflict disappeared, it didn't, but because I stopped mistaking chaos for closeness. I adopted a German Shepherd mix named Luna with one floppy ear and the kind of watchful calm only dogs who've seen too much can carry. She lies at my feet while I write this. I fix small things, a sticky hinge, a stubborn drawer. I plant basil that refuses to thrive and tomatoes that somehow do. The deed sits in a drawer by the window like a talisman against revisionist history. You want the messy parts? The night after the ruling, my door camera caught Chloe in my driveway. She stood beside my car, looked around like a kid caught between daring and fear, then left. 10 minutes later, Aunt Carol approached with a can of spray paint. The motion light flicked on. She glanced up, blinked, and walked away. I filed a police report not because I wanted anyone hauled off, but because this is what boundaries look like when love has been weaponized, a paper trail. Mom texted, "We are struggling financially. When will you come home?" Dad emailed, "When will you forgive us? Family should stick together." That line, their favorite, stick together like glue, like sap, like fly paper. I didn't block them. Maybe that's the stubborn optimist in me, or maybe it's the part that wants receipts for the next time someone says I made it up. The extended family chat turned into something like a truth and reconciliation committee without the reconciliation. People remembered things. My cousin Mark wrote, "I was told not to ask for help because Ava's doing fez." My aunt, different one, admitted Mom had discouraged Grandpa from visiting me at community college because it would distract Ava from work. Grandpa sent me a photo I had never seen. Me in a cheap black gown at the community college graduation I didn't invite anyone to because I had a double shift, and way in the background behind a fence is Grandpa, hands in his pockets, watching. "I never missed you," he said when he started coming by Sundays. "I just wasn't allowed close." He brings groceries like offerings and a new tool for the garage every week, as if he can rebuild the years with socket wrenches. We eat simple food, talk about weather, fix the hinge on the back gate. Healing, I'm learning, is unspectacular. It's not a viral apology or a grand confession. It's showing up with a bag of apples and asking how your tomatoes are doing. It's saying, "I'm proud of you," without a comma and a condition. Chloe got a part-time job at Starbucks and turned her feed into a megaphone for toxic family dynamics. I become the villain of every vague caption. At first, my body reacted to each post like it was a fire alarm. Now I let the comments wash by. People will believe what lets them sleep. What matters is what I believe and what the state of my front door believes when I turn the key. I stopped trying to correct the record with people who would rather watch theater than read documents. Here's the psychology hook that kept me bleeding for too long. The idea that saying no makes you cruel, that protecting what you built makes you selfish. In families like mine, generosity is graded on how much of your spine you're willing to donate. When I didn't hand over the house, Mom said, "You're breaking this family." That line used to gut me. Now it just tells the truth. The family system we had required a sacrificial lamb, and I stepped off the altar. If that breaks something, good. Break it. Smash the gears that grind you down. Build anew. There were days the loneliness felt like withdrawal. I'd catch a smell, lemon cleaner, chalk dust, and remember being 8 and wanting my mother to brush my hair, not because it needed it, but because touch is a language. Then I'd remember being 28 and asking for a cosigner so I could move out of a moldy apartment and being told, "We don't want to impact Chloe's aid." My therapist, yes, I finally got one, highly recommend, said something I keep taped inside a kitchen cabinet. "You're grieving the parents you needed, not the ones you had." If that resonates, like this video, so the algorithm shows it to someone who needs to hear it. And if you've had to set a boundary with people who taught you to equate love with obedience, share your story in the comments. I read them, I really do. I made new rituals. Sunday mornings with Grandpa. Thursday night movie with Luna snoring through the action scenes. Payday transfers into a savings bucket marked joy, and because every dollar used to go to safe. I bought myself a ridiculous, unnecessary throw blanket that feels like petting a cloud. Small things that announce to my nervous system, the emergency is over even if the sirens still echo sometimes. And the anger? I don't pretend it's gone. It lives in my chest like a coiled wire. When Dad wrote, "You've humiliated us," a younger me would have drafted a 1,000-word defense. Now I let the wire hum, and then I do something with my hands. Fix a hinge, recaulk a line in the shower, chop onions for soup. Anger wants action. It doesn't always need audience. Justice arrived on letterhead. Compassion arrives in choices I make daily, not to become what hurt me. People ask, "Would you forgive them?" My answer is unsatisfying to anyone who likes clean endings. I forgave the story where I owed them my life. I didn't forgive the demand. Forgiveness without repair is just pure. If they ever wanted to repair, it would start with this sentence, "We were wrong." Not, "We're sorry you felt hurt." Not, "We did our best," just, "We were wrong." Until then, my door stays closed to chaos and open to anyone bringing groceries and a socket wrench. If you were standing where I stood, phone in your hand, parents demanding the keys, what would you do? Hand them over and call it love? Lawyer up? Move and change your number? Tell me in the comments. And if this story lit a fire in you, if you've ever been told your boundaries are betrayal, hit like, share this with a friend who needs backup, and subscribe. I'm telling these stories because someone once told me I was selfish for surviving, and I want a record that says we're allowed to survive and keep what we build. One last shock line for the road, straight from my mother after the dismissal. You won in court, Ava, but you lost the family. Here's my reply, now that my voice doesn't shake. If winning means I don't have to be your inventory anymore, then I'll take the loss. I lock my door at night, tuck the deed back in its drawer, and breathe in a house that's finally quiet, for all the right reasons. Here's where I land. 6 months out, keys on the hook by the door, and Luna snoring like a tiny lawnmower at my feet. The house is still small, the mailbox still crooked, and some days my chest still tightens when I pass the drawer with the deed. But the silence in here has changed. It isn't the kind that makes you hold your breath and wait for impact. It's the kind that lets you hear yourself think. I cook too much pasta, I overwater the basil, I fix things badly the first time and better the second. And every ordinary choice says the same sentence to my nervous system, you're allowed to be safe now. I wish I could tell you I walked away without a scar. I didn't. There's a bruise where family first used to live, a reflex that tells me saying no is the same as abandoning people. I still hear their lines sometimes. You're selfish. You owe us. A good daughter would. And my hands go cold the way they do when a phishing email slides past your spam filter. But I also hear something else, something quiet and stubborn, my own voice. The one that says love without respect is custody, and I don't belong in a storage unit. If you need a bow on this story, I don't have one. What I have is a handful of truths that cost me a lot and feel worth sharing. First, boundaries don't punish people. They teach you what you can carry without disappearing. Second, forgiveness isn't a discount code for repeat harm. If there's no repair, forgiveness can wait. Third, you are not selfish for keeping what you built, especially if you built it in the dark alone while other people were turning on lights for someone else. I'm learning to grieve the parents I needed without hating the ones I had. That's not tidy work. Some mornings, grief comes in with the sunlight and sits at the table like an old friend who's better at listening than talking. Other days, it shows up like a gust that slams the door and rattles the screws I haven't tightened yet. Either way, I pour coffee, I open a window. I keep a socket wrench in reach. Practical, imperfect rituals that remind me progress is boring and that's okay. So let me ask you the question that still circles my head at 2 a.m., the one I don't pretend to have a perfect answer for. Am I in the wrong? Not legally, we know that part. I mean in the messy, human sense. For choosing my sanity over a storyline. For refusing to be inventory. For stepping off the altar that my family kept rebuilding in nicer fonts. If you were me, would you have handed over the keys to keep the peace? Would you call that peace? Tell me honestly, I can take it. And someone scrolling by right now might need your perspective more than you know. My takeaway, the lesson I'm tattooing on my habits, not my skin, is this. I don't have to collapse to be kind. Kindness that requires collapse isn't kindness, it's compliance. I can love people and still deny them access to my house, my time, my money, my mind. I can mourn what never came and still plant tomatoes. I can hear, you broke the family, and answer, maybe we needed something broken so something healthy could grow. If this hit a nerve, do me and your future self a favor. Like this, so the algorithm shows it to someone who thinks they're crazy for protecting their life. Comment with what you would have done or what you did do when your obligation tried to move in. If you've got a story that still shakes your voice, share as much as you can. I read them, and I'm not the only one who needs your proof. And subscribe if you want the follow-ups, the practical stuff, scripts for saying no without over-explaining, what documents to keep when families blur lines, how to rebuild when your support system turns into a subpoena. I can't promise pretty, I can promise honest. And I can promise this, the first night you lock your own door and feel your shoulders drop, you'll know it was worth it. Luna will sigh, the fridge will hum, and for the first time in a long time, the quiet will sound like you.